something about it.
Right. All hands on deck then.
I'm sure you've all guessed. The crystal which now commands the eastern skies was summoned by Ultima. He called it Origin. Though the significance of that name is as yet unclear.
What does it matter what it's called? Its emergence.
But to the best of my knowledge, none provide any hint as to their true nature. That they would prove the horns of some slumbering demon. Well,
the Dominion's demise was at least quick. Elsewhere, the Republican army cannot hope to contain the chaos engulfing Randalar. Canva is in flames, and the Empire.
Our allies are crying out for answers. I've sent the Cursebreakers to give them what assurances we can, but right now that amounts to fuck all.
They wouldn't be able to stop what the skies have started in any case. People here and across the realm grow sicker with every passing day.
Could it be that this new...
And as the land's ether slowly rises to the surface, it pools, corrupting all who cannot channel its energies. Archay above, ether floods below, and in the middle, here we languish, hopelessly entrapped.
It's all right. When we faced him at Stonehere, Ultima told us his true power quickens in the halls of Origin. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to continue. If we are to stop him, we will have to find a way into the crystal.
How are we going to manage that then? It's up in the sky. And fast as she is, the Enterprise can't fly.
It's a lot to take in, and I reckon we'd all benefit from some time to clear our heads. The answer will come to us. Don't you worry. Ain't that right, Clive?
Right. That's right.
Well, go on then. Bugger off. Same goes for you, Clive. You won't solve anything like this. Trust me. Go and get some fresh air, eh?
Thank you. Joshua seemed upset.
Trouble with your gear, or Sancfordian, do you? Not my best work, but it'll do. Yeah, that should do you. Not my best work, but it'll do. Yeah, that should do you. Not my best work, but it'll do. Yeah, that should do you. Anything else?
finished, are you?
Ultima may have created us, but he doesn't make us who we are. Only we can do that. And if he would have us fight for our survival, so be it. It's what we've been doing all along.
Much like Ultima himself, it would seem. His new world being naught but a means to survive. And so, we must contend to decide which of us shall inherit the land. Should Ultima prevail, it will mean death for us all. Of that, we can be certain. But even should he fail, what world awaits us? A withered, godless place, where our newfound freedom will most like prove a chain in itself.
Well, that may be. But a chain can always be broken. As long as one has the will to break it. It won't be easy. It may take generations. Centuries of suffering. And that is, if everyone plays their part. But it will happen. And when it does, it will be on our terms. That is the world that awaits us.
Indeed. And what better world could one wish for?
But first, we have to reach that crystal.
Then it's a good thing I have wings.
You can barely stand, let alone fly. And only the Founder knows what horrors await in those skies. You certain about this?
Am I certain? I am the Phoenix. I will do what I must. This is our fight. Remember?
All right. I yield. But only what you must, yes? I'm still your sworn shield.
That you are.
And what of my wings? Lest you forget, you go to stand against a god. I would not have you succumb to fatigue before the fight begins. Ifrit, your brother mentioned that some few of the dominants who had lost their power to you were still able to prime. Is that true?
It is. But their icons no longer submitted to their will.
Then mine will have to be stronger. That you both might save your strength for the battle to come.
You don't have to do this.
If you do, there's a chance you might lose all you have left.
And what have I but regret? My life ended in the Dominion. I fear death no more. Besides, I would have words with Ultima. He has much to answer for.
We are in your debt, Dion.
We can speak of debts when this is over.
He speaks like a man who knows he's not coming back. And has come to terms with that.
Take as much time as you need, brother. Something tells me Ultima will wait.
come to wish on a star.
That might not be such a bad idea. This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. Why I have to do it. There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us. Where it will end, for better or worse.
I could pray to Metia for you. But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You always are.
I did promise we'd watch the moon together.
I'll be waiting.
It's almost time. Better make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Something tells me this is no mere adventure story. What is it this time, Torgal?
Do you have a moment?
Of course. Always.
I wanted to give you something.
Is this?
I stitched it from the cloth you gave Hortense. The piece she said you liked best. I told her I used to enjoy needlework, but I didn't think she'd remember.
It's beautiful, Jill. You didn't have to.
When I was very little, I recall my mother telling me that young ladies of the court would give knights ribbons from their hair before they went off to war. I still wear mine, so I made you this instead. Black is the color of eternity. It cannot be stained. It cannot be sullied. It is unchanging, unwavering, just like your resolve. And mine.
Our resolve. May it never diminish.
And may it ever bring you back to me. I will always, always be here.
Thank you, Jill.
What's on your mind, Clive? Somewhere in the back of my mind. I know. Thank you. And so for now, be strong, Clive.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw...
I suppose I should have... But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have... Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, the realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will...
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could, but I do know someone the High Command...
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. And as luck would have it...
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat... You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in...
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dhalmekian capital.
Excellent.
No. Thank you, Clive.
Say what you will. Lady Karen is
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want my iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he was looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
Where to then, Torgal?
think happened to Miss...
Cid! You have to help us!
With what? You didn't...
No! Well,
It's Miss Mididol. She's been very strange.
when she is, she acts like we aren't even there.
In the clouds.
That's what I said.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind.
Not long ago. Right after she got back from saving you from...
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did take...
You didn't break it, did you, Cid? You really should be more careful. Don't listen to her. Even if you...
But who's gonna put Miss Mididol back?
Why don't I go and see if I can...
You do that. She's in her dad...
Don't scare him.
Thanks for the warning.
I will not let them be forgotten. Cid, may...
Of course.
It is an honor to... My name is Herman. I wish to be deployed to Ash.
No. I will not send good men and women to... Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve something. I was raised in an orphanage, or rather, it was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn bearer children. We were tortured until we feared, and few ever survived long enough to become tools.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many, but they must be remembered. The Institute was run with military precision. Every child measured. Cid, allow me to travel to Ash.
You were a good friend, Herman. But the fact remains that Ash is simply too dangerous.
Cid, please. Even should it cost me my life.
Too dangerous for you, Herman. But not for me. I'll go to Bad Bach and find the registry.
You will?
I won't let you risk your life.
I don't know.
You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphanage.
Vida Grace.
All right.
May the mothers guide you.
Do you suppose it's magic keeping us afloat?
What else could it be? Has Mididol mentioned it?
Mid, if you have a...
If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will.
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so... I'm gonna do... The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic, but not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First hand.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know. But if a godfather's offering to lend a hand, first I'll need oil, and not just then, I'll need some bone.
If it's beast bones you're after.
No, they'll know where you might find some.
I should speak with one of the curse breakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
All this time, my heart has wandered hither and thither in search of the perfect companion. When all along he was here, standing right beside me.
Clive, I wanted to give you something for the kindness you showed my mentor.
What's this?
A chest of all the medicines you're ever likely to need. Seeing as you're so reluctant to come to the infirmary, I thought you might as well take a part of the infirmary with you.
I'm sure it will be very helpful indeed. And Haya, try not to work too hard.
And work Rodrigue all the harder, you mean? He's a quick study, but he's got a long way to go yet. I'll take that particular piece of advice when you heed it yourself, thank you very much. Besides, who else is going to see that your brother takes his medicine?
Who indeed?
You nearly collapsed back there.
Thank you, my lord, for taking me in. Everyone here has been so kind. It reminds me of home.
Greetings, Lord Marquis. His Grace and I. At first, it was my duty to him. Have care, my lord.
All right, Cid. Come to...
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project.
Most bones are the same. Whack-a-mole, if it's durability you're looking for, shell will serve you better.
I do. Will any old adamantus...
Well, with shells, the older the harder. But don't expect to make quick work of the bastard.
I'll keep that in mind.
Twinside's hundreds of leagues away.
Off you go then.
Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book.
Thank you, Clive, but tracking it down will not be easy.
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom. It's only right that I return the favor.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than... I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found. But perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, but this book... it set me on the path to becoming who I am today.
Cid, I was wondering if you...
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could...
I don't mind, but...
Because... he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and scouting. We're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognize the trait.
Sounds reasonable.
So you're happy to oversee the boys' test, then?
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words, Cid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
Cid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point, and it seems that you've forbidden curse breakers from traveling to Waloed. I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together. And we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name in the prison register. A name from my past. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had to family. The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls. We should head there as quickly as we can.
As do I, Doris.
Courage, Ifrit. My decision is made. You said it yourself. He must be stopped.
He must.
Make ready.
Ah, Clive.
Of course. Another time.
Ah, Clive.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's... not nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will.
His will?
In the crypt, beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have...
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much.
Very well.
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west. Toward Rosaria. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
You all right? You off then?
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Harpocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers. A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her.
By the hand of the executors.
But what drives them?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting?
Not from thin air, no. Rumors of the executors are rife, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend, well, I had a friend in the village. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark, but though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were...
Very well. When I next find I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. I have a few new notes that might interest you. I have quite the find for you today. You wish to study the tomes? always welcome, Clive.
Doris is waiting for me near Balmond Dock. I can walk from here. There were no guards, I take it?
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the Wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Don't give up hope just yet. But let's move quickly. Let me check the ground floor. The ether stick is there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. Better keep my eyes open for signs of life. So this place was no ordinary prison, and I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled. Time to fight. Minimal loss of Waluda lives. Even the Imperials take better care of their brat. They were feeding bearers to it. This is even worse than I'd feared. Nothing but Akashic down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. should go and see how Doris is getting on. No lock downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents and... it can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse. Pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more death. And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children even. And those who wouldn't or couldn't were disposed of. Whatever that means.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was a fool to bring you here.
Don't say that.
A key. But it does...
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right.
This one. It's over. Over here. Let's see what we can find down here. A survivor. And she sounds close.
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone?
Some of the guards. There's everyone.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger.
Ready when you are. You poor thing. He must...
Did Chadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. He must have sent you. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he?
Chadwick.
Was that?
Monster's back!
We have to get out of here.
Doris, keep the girl safe.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground.
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers. Finally.
Cid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think.
No.
What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is safe thanks to him.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. Of course not. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
She is. Slowly but surely. I thank the flames we found her.
I know. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, how he fought to the bitter end to save her. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past. If you don't mind that.
Of course. You already met my former master. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever... For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. So we escaped. But staying after so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool.
Hyde Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their shackles, and the Cursebreakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done.
Thank you, Doris.
fancy a look at the list, do you? Anything catch your eye?
Nazaire might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
I would speak with this Duke.
Saw the captain just now.
Your town needs you.
Do you have a moment, Clive?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison and put every able-bodied man to work on the fortifications. The town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizens' watch to fill the void. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for bodies. So I was wondering if you would lend them your strength, that the people of Northreach might sleep easier, if only for a few nights.
Of course. Whatever you need.
Thank you, Clive. What would I do without you? Philippe told me he had men stationed at...
Where can I find the mistress of this establishment?
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you.
Very well. I trust you'll forgive.
Absolutely.
Please.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man, and I join. Indeed, I owe you my for continuing to argue, yet I fear he is not. He must be made to face.
And who?
I would. Myself and several other like-minded individuals.
Does that not seem a trifle... drastic?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see your people down, my father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced to make... But he is wrong. It is not the people who must... Scornful of the opinions of it, but he cannot be allowed. We must fight him.
Fight him? No. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends... While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope. But I see that your mind is made up. If you will extend me this... I bid you good day.
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. But unfortunately, which may be enough to seal the fate of this town, this is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry, where were we? Ah, yes. I was about to tell you of Philippe's plans, but perhaps it's better that you heard them from him.
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you.
We'd have our coin, our stock and our stores. And we're just supposed to hand the whole lot over?
So you are content to abandon the... Please, I beseech you. If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight.
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep watch.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison? Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank you so much for your help.
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dane to join her in fomenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway, what brings you here?
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, she did she? Right as always. In fact, you're just the man. We've had some reports, you see. Sightings of...
They're back.
Seems that way. All over, too. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet.
Right.
You know Grieger's Weep?
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings.
We'd have our coin.
I'm nervous.
Well met, Sid. This is the initiate.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid.
Oh, of course. The sergeant says you'll be...
To become a scout, yes.
I am. But I swore I'd face him.
Who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found no magic, no support, just one man and his nose. It taught me what one man can do, and I've been training ever since. So that one day...
You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it's...
So...
You haven't even started yet. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find it and bring it here.
And bring it here, right. Anything else?
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost, you'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all this...
On my way. All right, Ember. Impress me. Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town. Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive, it's me. Are you all right?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, that's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? They all came from the north last. We might be able to fend off an attack from...
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though. Just you head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks out while I'm away.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic, stirring up ill feeling towards her father.
What? I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, or...
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things, and I'm...
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. But now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sanbreque, just as Great Griga wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore! You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Brandit.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Griga.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell.
People will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, milady. I will.
I'll play my part too. You still want for numbers. Unlike the enemy. I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the South in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. What about you?
I'll make my way up. I fought a few of these things. And well, I can't promise to hold them all back.
All right. But take care.
Thank you. Both of you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
I have served the Duke for many years.
Merciful Creek.
Come on.
There are so many of them.
Not for long.
It's over! Now, Torgal!
That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory.
You have the right of it again, as did you, Sabine. His Radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that, and I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt. But my anger got the better of me.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This was my doing. I should have listened to you.
Your Eminence, your Ladyship. I do not doubt that you came here with, but I believe the same could be said of us. We all want safety, security, and we may yet achieve it. Will you join us in this?
Yes. We shall.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. And today there are more than ever before.
Madame Isabel is a rare soul indeed. In these dark times, I see that it is not men like me who should lead the realm.
You're right. If only I'd listened to her when I had the chance.
Forgive me for saying so, milady, but you still do. The Dame said it herself. We can turn things around, and that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you?
Well said, Captain.
Well, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving the wound.
Can we get you anything?
There's no need to worry any longer.
I saw several soldiers being carried to the Vale.
How goes the treatment of the wounded? I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help. Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've done for this town, it is the very least you deserve.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? But I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long story.
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. I was Carla then. Courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, Those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard. The gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving. Half dreading, half until we found ourselves here. It was the veil that fed us. Clothes that could be healed at least.
He passed away.
He did. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace. It was the greatest gift. But the generosity of this town, the men and women of the Vale supported, though I was still a stranger to them. And so I swore that I would return the kindness, that I would repay my...
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive, and I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. The people, the soldiers, all united in defense of this town. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.